Dear my students, today we will study new lesson which is thermal capacity. By the end of this lesson, you will know what internal energy is, what thermal heat capacity is, and how can we calculate the thermal capacity of any liquid. Internal energy. Internal energy equal the combination of total kinetic energy and potential energy. We know before that kinetic energy resulted due to motion, but potential energy is stored inside the object, in this case stored due to intermolecular forces of the molecules inside the body. When heat is given to a system, the atoms and molecules of gain energy. Collisions between the molecules and atoms take place and they start moving faster. By increasing the temperature of the material, the molecules gain energy and increasing in its speed occur. This causes increasing number of collisions and increasing in kinetic energy, also increasing of potential energy. Therefore, as temperature rises, there will be an increase in internal energy of the substance resulted from increasing in kinetic energy and increasing in potential energy. Thermal heat capacity. Different materials have different thermal heat capacity. It means if a material absorbs thermal energy, then unless it's melting or boiling, its temperature rises. However, some materials have a greater capacity for absorbing thermal energy than others. For example, if you heat a kilogram of each water and aluminum, the water must be supplied with nearly 5 times as much energy as the aluminum for the same rise in temperature. Therefore, in this figure, the energy Q, amount of energy transferred to the body, causes the internal energy to increase by delta U and temperature increase by delta T. So, applying temperature or applying energy to the material cause increase in internal energy and increase in its temperature. Calculating thermal heat capacity. Thermal heat capacity defined as the amount of thermal energy required to raise the temperature of the body by 1 degree Celsius. Thermal heat capacity can be calculated by energy transferred equal mass times specific heat capacity times temperature change. By simples, E equal M times C times delta T. E for energy transferred, M for mass, C for specific heat capacity, and delta T for temperature change. This for calculating heat capacity of the material. Now we will calculate the specific heat capacity of a substance experimentally. To calculate C from the last formula, C equal E over M times delta T. To calculate specific heat capacity, we should measure the energy supplied, amount of energy supplied, mass of a substance. In this experiment, we will calculate the specific heat capacity of water, so we will measure the mass of water and a change in temperature, which is delta T. To do this experiment, we will use calorimeter with a heating coil, ammeter, voltmeter, thermometer, AC voltage source, and balance. Calorimeter is a container isolated from the surrounding to save the temperature of substance. Ammeter used to measure the current. Voltmeter used to measure voltage. Thermometer used to measure the change in temperature. AC voltage source and balance used to measure the amount or the mass of the substance. To make these experiments, we will do these steps. Firstly, we will measure the mass of water by using balance. Second step, we will connect the heating coil into the circuit with AC voltage source, ammeter and voltmeter. But before turning the power supply on, we will measure the initial temperature of water before heating, and we will leave the thermometer and calorimeter during the whole measurement. Fourth step, turn on the power supply and at the same begin to measure the time of the heating. Also take notes of the voltage and current value. So when or during turning on, we will measure the time needed for heating. Also we will take the reading of ammeter and voltmeter. Last step, after about 3 or 4 minutes, turn the power supply off. Quickly stir the water with a stirrer and read the final temperature of the water. Don't forget to write down the time of heating. So by making these steps, we know the mass of water, initial temperature, time for heating, reading of ammeter, reading of voltmeter, and final temperature. So by using the results from the last experiment, we can calculate the energy supplied to the water by calculating power times time. If you remember, power equal work over time or energy transferred over time. From this formula we can calculate energy. So energy equal power times time. We get power from the value of current and voltage that are taken from the experiment. After that we will use the following formula to get C. C equal E over M times delta T. We calculated E from the formula of power. We measured M from or by using balance, and we measured delta E by subtraction T final and initial. Now we are going to solve this question that related to the last experiment. This question is very important. 250 watt heater is placed in 2 kg of water and switched on for 150 seconds. First question, how much energy does the heater supply? Second question, assume that no thermal energy is lost. What is the temperature rise of the water? Suppose C, or specific heat capacity for water, equal 4200 joule per kilogram times Celsius degree. The unit of specific heat capacity is very important, which is joule per kilogram times degree Celsius. You should save this unit. First question, to calculate the energy does the heater supply, we will use the formula of power. If you remember, E equal P times T. Energy equal P times T. So energy equal 250 times 150 will equal 37,500 joules. This for how much energy does the heater supply. Second question, we want to calculate the change in temperature. So we'll use the formula of specific heat capacity, which is delta T equal E over M times T. We calculated E before in the first step, which was equal 37,500 divided by M2 times C, which equal 4200. So change in temperature equal 4.46 degrees Celsius. This is the end of our lesson. Hope to solve the homework that's uploaded on Moodle. Thank you, my student.